Okay, today we will discuss MCQs on Indian polity. So, আপোনালোকে যদি বেলেগ সাবজেক্টৰ ওপৰত MCQ সলভ কৰিব বিচাৰে, ইকোনমি ওপৰত সলভ কৰা হৈ গ'ল আৰু আজি পলিটিৰ ওপৰত কৰিম আৰু বেলেগ সাবজেক্টৰ ওপৰত যদি সলভ কৰিব বিচাৰে তেনে আপোনালোকে আমাক কমেন্ট সেকশনত এটা মেছেজ দিব বা লাষ্টত ফোন নাম্বাৰ দিয়া আছে তাতে আপোনাক কন্টাক্ট কৰিব পাৰে। Okay, so today we will discuss 16 MCQs on Indian polity, which are essential for upcoming preliminary exam APSC. Okay, so first question in India, if religious community is given the status of a national minority, what special advantage it is entitled to? Mane jodi kunba ta community minority status dia hoy tene tumi ki advantage mane pai. Okay, so first question though, it can establish and administer exclusive educational institution. Number 2, the President of India automatically nominates a representative of the community to Lok Sabha, and it can derive benefit from the Prime Minister's 15-point program. Okay, so we know that under fundamental right 2930. Okay, so minorities has the can establish and administer exclusive education institution of their own. Okay, so option 1 is correct. Okay, and second, the President of India automatically nominates a representative of the community to the Lok Sabha. It is not correct because President nominates 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community, not from the all minorities. Okay, only from the Anglo-Indian community. Okay, if he feels that this Anglo-Indian community is not adequately represented in the Lok Sabha. Okay, so option 2 is not correct. So now we can use the elimination method. So means we can strike off the option where 2 is present. Okay, so B cannot be the answer, as well as D cannot be the answer. The answer may be A and C. Okay, so here in this case, number 3, it can derive benefit from the Prime Minister's 15-point program. Yes, it can derive benefit from the Prime Minister's 15-point program. It was launched in 2005, mainly for the upliftment of the minority community only. Okay, so 1 and 3 is the correct answer. So 1 will be answer C. So in this case, answer will be C. Okay, so next, when the annual union budget is not passed by the Lok Sabha. Okay, we know that it is passing of budget or voting for budget is the exclusive right of the Lok Sabha. Okay, it is not the right of Rajya Sabha cannot vote. Okay, on the demand for grants in the for the budget. Okay, it is the exclusive right of Lok Sabha. Okay, now if budget is not passed in the Lok Sabha, what will be its impact? Number 8 is the budget is modified and presented again. Number B, the budget is referred to the Rajya Sabha for suggestion, and the Union Finance Minister is asked to resign. And the Prime Minister submits the resignation of the Council of Ministers. So when budget is not passed, it is like a passing of no confidence motion. Okay, in the Lok Sabha. So answer will be the Prime Minister submits the resignation of the Council of Ministers. Okay, so it is like a passing of no confidence motion. Okay, so answer will be D. So next I said who among the following has been given the power by the Constitution of India to impose reasonable restrictions on the fundamental rights. We know that the fundamental rights are not absolute. Okay, so government or state can impose reasonable restrictions. Okay, in order to maintain the for the interest of national interest, as well as in order to maintain peace and stability in the society. So government can impose reasonable restriction. Okay, now the question is who among the following has given the power by the Constitution of India to impose reasonable restriction on the fundamental rights? So option A, it is President. Option B, Parliament. C, Supreme Court. D, both Parliament and Supreme Court. So it is by Parliament. Okay, so answer will be Parliament. Okay, so Parliament can impose reasonable restrictions. Now whether the restrictions which are imposed by the Parliament, these are reasonable or not, it is decided by the Supreme Court. Reasonable restriction is imposed by Parliament, but whether these restrictions are reasonable or not, this is determined by the Supreme Court. Okay, so number 4. Why? So number 4, any members of the public or group of people may approach the court on behalf of the aggrieved persons for protections of his fundamental rights. This is called what? Doctrine of public interest litigation, doctrine of severability, doctrine of real effect, and none. So answer will be, it is a doctrine of public interest litigation. So it is against the locus standi. So what is locus standi? In case of locus standi, what? Suppose my fundamental rights is violated, only I can approach the court. Okay. No other organization, no other person can approach the court on behalf of me. Okay. But according to doctrine of public interest litigation, if a particular person's fundamental rights are violated, then other person or other organization can also approach the court on behalf of this. Okay. Okay. So here answer is A. So next, number 5. Consider following statements. All democratic countries have written constitutions. All countries that have a constitutions are democratic in nature. So all democratic countries have written constitutions. Okay, India is a democratic country. India has a written constitution. It is right. But UK is also a democratic country, but does not have a written constitution. So option 1 is not correct. Next, all countries that have a constitutions are democratic in nature. Similarly, again, India is a democratic country, and India has a constitution, and all countries that have a constitution, okay. But so India is a democratic in nature, but Pakistan, Afghanistan, they also have constitution, but they are not as democratic as India. Okay, they are, but the fundamental rights of the people are very less. Okay, they have more fundamental duties. Okay, and state encouraged upon the liberty and freedom of individual in that countries. Okay, means Pakistan and Afghanistan. Although they have constitution, but they do not follow constitutionalism. Okay, so option 2 is also incorrect. So answer will be D. So in this case, answer will be D. Answer D. Okay. So rule of law means, what is rule of law? So everyone is equal before the law of the land. All laws apply equally to all citizens of the country, and no one is above the law. Okay. So actually, this rule of law concept in Indian Constitution is taken from the British Constitution. Okay. And so first option is everyone is equal before the law. Yes, it is correct. Everyone is equal before the law of the land. Okay, and all law apply equally to all citizens of the country, and no one is above the law. So all are correct. So here option D. D is the correct answer. 6, option D. Okay. So this concept is taken from the British Constitution. Okay, Bill of Rights. Okay. So next. Next 7. So consider following statement regarding the Parliament. The Parliament consists of only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Parliament is the final authority for making law in any country. Okay. So Parliament consists of only Lok Sabha and in case of India, Parliament consists of not only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it also consists of President. Okay, means Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha as well as the President. Although President is not a member of Parliament, but he is an integral part of the Parliament. Okay. So next, second, the Parliament is the final authority for making law in any country. Yes, it is a exclusive power of Parliament. Okay, to enact law in any country. So here, correct answer will be 1 is not correct. So correct answer will be B. Okay. So correct answer will be B. In this case, correct answer will be B. Okay, next. The function of the constitution is, so what is the function of constitution? So constitution, it is nothing but a basic law of a country. In Germany, constitution itself called as a basic law. Okay, so what is the function of constitution? Number one, it specifies how the government will be constituted, lay down limits on the power of the government, and express aspiration of the society. Okay, and if we look at the Indian constitution, the aspirations of the society is expressed in where? It is in the preamble. Okay, if you look at the preamble, all the aspirations of the people are expressed there. Okay, in the form of justice, liberty, equality. Okay, and so here number one is specify how government will be specify how the government will be constituted, lay down limits on the power of the government, and express aspiration of society. So in this case, it will be answer B. All are correct. Okay, so what will be the impact of if there is no constitution? Then it will then it is not possible to establish a democratic form of government. Okay, because without a constitution, government will function like a dictator. So it will become a authoritative government. Okay, there will be no rights and freedom as well as the individual liberty of the people. Okay, they will have only fundamental duties. Okay, so this is that's why constitution is very important. Okay, next. Next, number 9. Which of the following comes under the union list of subject? Banking, communications, public health, trade and commerce. So we know that in the 7th schedule of the constitution, there are 3 lists. One is union list, state list, there is a concurrent list. In union list, Parliament has the exclusive power to enact laws. So in state list, in normal cases, in state legislature enact the laws, but there are some provisions in which Parliament also has the power. Parliament is also empowered to enact laws in the state list. Okay, like during emergency, when president rule is imposed, or when Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by majority, by T4 majority or special majority, for the interest, for national interest, it is important for the Parliament to enact laws on the state list. Then Parliament also enact laws on the state list. Okay, so this okay. Next, in concurrent list, both Parliament and state can enact laws, but in case of conflict, central law will prevail. Okay, so in this case, banking, yes, banking, it is under union list. Okay, banking one is union list, communication again in union list. Okay, so public health it is state list, trade and commerce again is state list. So answer will be A. 9 will be answer A. Okay, so 9 will be answer A. So 9 will be answer A. Next, 10. Consider following statement. Federalism is followed in majority of the countries in the world. Okay, federalism is followed in majority countries in the world. India and Pakistan are the only federal countries in the SAARC. Okay, so federalism is followed in major countries in the world. So it is not correct, because if we look at pure federalisms followed only in the US. Okay, what is federalism? There will be complete division of power between center and states. Okay, as well as there will be if you look at the US constitution, there is one constitution for US, and state also have their own constitution. Okay, and there is complete division between legislature, executive, and judiciary. Okay, that is complete. There is a complete separation of power. At present, only the US has the pure form of federalism. Okay, US, Canada, etc. So, but if you look at majority of countries like UK, so they have unitary form of government. Okay, so federalism is not followed in majority of the countries. India also do not have pure federal characters. Okay, it is called quasi-federalism. Means federalism with a strong centralizing unitary features. Okay, so option 1 is not correct. India and Pakistan are the only federal countries in the SAARC. It is correct. Okay, if you look at the SAARC countries like Nepal, they have they're not federal. That only on a center has more powers. If you look at Bhutan, they have monarchy. So similarly, in other countries of SAARC, okay, they are unitary in nature. Okay, only India and Pakistan are federal countries in SAARC. Okay, so here correct option will be B. Next. Next 11. Consider flowing statements. So consider flowing statements. The chief secretary in a state is appointed by the governor of the state. Chief secretary in a state has a fixed tenure. So we know that chief secretary of in a state they doesn't have a fixed tenure. Okay, it may be 1 year, 2 year, or 6 months, etc. So option 2 is not correct. Okay, so next, the chief secretary. Option 1, the chief secretary in a state is appointed by the governor of the state. So it is also not correct because chief secretary is not appointed by the governor. A committee is formed. Okay, a committee is formed, and that committee finalizes the name. Okay, okay. So option 1 is also not correct. So both are neither 1 nor 2 is correct. So answer will be D. In this case, the answer will be D. Neither 1 nor 2. So which of the following statements is correct? A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its prorogations. Okay, number 1. Next, a bill pending in the Rajya Sabha which has not been passed by Lok Sabha shall not lapse on dissolution of the Lok Sabha. So there are 3 terms. One is adjournment, next prorogations, next dissolutions. So adjournment means only the house is adjourned for 1 hour or 2 hours. Okay, and adjournment does not lead to the dissolution of the house. Okay, it terminates the session for a small time, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay, and prorogation means end of a session. So like winter session, budget session, winter session, summer session, so monsoon session. Okay, when prorogation means the end of a session, it doesn't mean the dissolution. Okay, but dissolution means complete termination of the house. Means after every 5 years. Okay, that this is called dissolution. So a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. No, a bill pending in the Lok Sabha never lapses. Okay, because on its prorogation, because if a bill is not passed in the first in one session, then it can be present in the other session. Okay, so it not lapse because prorogation does not mean dissolution or complete termination. Okay, prorogation means the end of a session, like winter session, summer session, monsoon session, or winter session. Okay, suppose a bill is not passed in the summer session, and it can be present in the monsoon session. Okay, next, so option 1 is a bill pending in Lok Sabha lapse. Option 1 is not correct. Okay, next, option 2, a bill pending in the Rajya Sabha which has not been passed by Lok Sabha shall not lapse on dissolution of Lok Sabha. It is correct. So here answer will be B. Okay, 12th answer will be B. Next, so next we'll discuss 13. Okay, The Parliament of India, acquires the power to legislate on any items in the state list in the national interest if a resolution to that effect is passed by. I have already discussed. So option A is Lok Sabha by a simple majority on its total membership. Next, second option, Lok Sabha by a majority of not less than 2/3 of its total membership. Number C, Rajya Sabha by a simple majority of its total membership, and Rajya Sabha by a majority of not less than 2/3 of its members present and voting, or it is also known as special majority. Okay, so here 13 will be answer D. When Rajya Sabha pass a resolution, okay, when Rajya Sabha pass a resolutions by 2/3 majority, that it is for the national interest, Lok Sabha should enact the laws mentioned in the state list, then Parliament can enact laws even in the state list. Okay, so option will be D. Next, 14. The fundamental objectives of Panchayati Raj system is to ensure which among the following. So what is the objectives of Panchayati Raj system? Why Panchayati Raj system introduced? You know that 73rd and 74th amendment 1992 the central government was introduced. Okay, so what is the purpose? The purpose is to decentralization of power. Okay, so then more people can participate. Okay, although direct democracy is not possible in a country like India due to huge population, we have representative democracy. Okay, means we elect our representatives, and on behalf of the people, they represent the people in the parliament. Okay, now what is the objectives of Parliament Panchayati Raj system? So Panchayati Raj system was nothing but it is a local self-government. Okay, in the rural areas. Okay, so what is the objectives? Democratic decentralization. One is democratic decentralizations. Next, people's participation in the, yes, people's participation in the development. So one is correct. He is correct. Two, political accountability. So political accountability is not the objectives of Panchayati Raj system. Okay, we have Lokpal and Lokayukt, as well as we have RTI. These are different instruments are there in order to check the political accountability. Okay, and financial mobilization is also not the objectives of Panchayati Raj. We have finance commission. Okay, to now Niti Aayog to for the financial mobilization. So correct answer will be 1 and 3. So here option C. Okay, so what is the objectives of Panchayati Raj system? Decentralization of power. Okay, so that power and people's to increase the people's participation in the development process. Okay, although direct democracy is not possible, but in local self-government in Panchayati Raj we have direct democracy, like the aspect is through Gram Sabha, where people directly participate. Okay, so where people directly participate in the decision-making process, that is called direct democracy. Okay, although in India we have representative democracy. Okay, so next. So next, number 15. Consider flowing statements regarding the directive principles of state policy. Okay, why directive? What is object? Okay, number one, the principle spells out the socio-economic democracy in the country, and socio-economic democracy in the country. Next, the provisions contained in the principles are not enforceable by any court. Yes, so here both are correct. Okay, here both are correct. Okay, both option A and B are correct. 1 and 2 are correct because we know that these are socio-economic in nature. Okay, whereas but they are not enforceable in court. Means we know that fundamental rights are enforceable in nature, but directive principles are not enforceable in nature, because if these principles are not followed by the government in the governance, but we cannot move to the court. Okay, for their implementation, because these are one kind of instruction for the government. Okay, but government is not bound to follow this principle, hence they are called not enforceable. But fundamental rights are enforceable. If fundamental rights are violated, we can move to the High Court under Article 226, as well as we can move to the Supreme Court under Article 32 for the enforcement, and we can issue through different writs like habeas corpus, mandamus, etc. Okay, but directive principle is if directive principles are not they are not enforced by the government, they are not followed by the government, okay, they are not implemented by the government, then we cannot move to the court, okay, because these are just if government have resources, then government may implement, but if there is a scarcity of resources, then government may not implement this principle, okay. So here option C is the correct answer. Now last question, consider following statements. The Rajya Sabha has no power either to reject or to amend a money bill. Okay. Number B, the Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the demand for grants. Rajya Sabha cannot discuss annual financial statement. So which is correct? So we know that money bill can be introduced, okay, only in Lok Sabha. It is a special exclusive or special function of the Lok Sabha, okay, and it can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, okay, and Rajya Sabha cannot even reject or amend money bill, okay. But what it can do is that it can only delay. Rajya Sabha can only delay money bill at max for 14 days. Okay, in 14 days, if the bill is not returned to the Lok Sabha, then the bill will be passed as it is passed by the Lok Sabha. Okay, so Rajya Sabha cannot reject a money bill. It can only delay the bill for at max 14 days. Okay, so option 1 is correct. Okay, next B. The Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the demand. Yes, it is against the exclusive right of Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the demand for grants. Only Lok Sabha can vote on the demands for grant. Okay, so option 2 is also correct. And option 3, the Rajya Sabha cannot discuss the annual financial statement. It is not correct. Although Rajya Sabha cannot vote for the budget, but it can discuss. But it can discuss the annual financial statement. Annual financial statement is nothing but is a budget. Okay, so here option will be 16. Option will be B. Okay, so this is all. So if you have any doubt, you can ask questions in our comment section. And আৰু যদি আপোনালোকক বেলেগ সাবজেক্টৰ MCQ সলভ কৰিব বিচাৰে MCQ সলভ কৰিব লাগে তেনে আপোনালোকে আমাৰ কন্টাক্ট নাম্বাৰ দিয়া আছে তাতে আমাক কন্টাক্ট কৰিব পাৰিব আৰু বেলেগ ক্লাছ যদি লাগে বেলেগ সাবজেক্টৰ তেনে আপোনালোকে আমাক কন্টাক্ট কৰিব পাৰিব কন্টাক্ট নাম্বাৰ দিয়া আছে তাতে এই নম্বৰত কন্টাক্ট কৰিব পাৰিব ওকে থ্যাংক ইউ